Yo, it is Friday, guys. Yo, we got that Friday energy, that FIA Friday. Yo, you know what that means. Let's go ahead and dig in. Yo! Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on out there? It is another FA Friday. What's going on, all you hashers out there? We got Crypto Nico sliding on in here. Looks like you're the first one to comment, too, that I can see. Guys, as you're sliding on in here, definitely do not forget to smash that Lizzie like button. Yo! As you see, I got my little green screen set up. Woo! Why? Because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be showing some articles off, and I have to set up the green screen for later on tonight anyway. So might as well set it up now, right, guys? Yo. As you guys are all sliding on in here, I know I kind of set out all the stream up pretty much on the late side. Again, me and Mikkel are sitting here always doing stuff for the family mine. So we have basically just gotten the bank account all set up. All that's all squared away now. It is live. I'll be sitting there putting the first bit of the funds into the family mine bank account so that we can pay the electric bill. So it's like money goes in, money goes off, back out. Thank God it's the company's money and not mine, right? It is my money. No, just kidding. So what's going on, everyone? What's up? What's up? So as we are waiting for everybody to kind of slide on in, let's go ahead and dive right into some of these articles, guys. Yo. So Alpha Cool has come out with their first design for the RTX 4090. It depends on how you like it. I like water block stuff, so this stuff I nerd out on it. I'll admit it. So I like the arrangement on there. It looks like it's top and bottom lit, which is fine by me as long as the wire can be easily hit. It looks like it's down in this bottom right corner if you have it standing up like this. I hope that they've got fittings that go straight up also and not off to the side like this. Just because of the orientation of how they've got this would almost make it to where you cannot put this card into display mode. So they better have a top fitment on there. It's hard to see in here if it's a through hole. I hope it's a through hole. That would make it easier. Because if it's not a through hole, this is kind of junky that they're dictating how you have to orientate this bad boy in there. I would think that you should be able to put this into display mode or put it into the GPU slot as normal. You should be able to do both ways. Not if these are only forward facing, that really limits what you can do on it, because if you put it into display mode, it usually presses the whole GPU right up against your glass, and there's really not much room to put a fitting in there, let alone tubing and all that good stuff. And I think it would look ugly if you can't hide it behind this whole mass. And just have it sustained there. I kind of like that look. I did slot it into mine, but my tower is not tall enough with the reservoir that I chose for it. If I were to have a bigger case, which then it wouldn't fit inside of my desk the way I have it, then I would have picked a cylindrical reservoir on mine with the D5 pump and called it a day. And then I would have put my whole thing in display mode, and you would have only seen a couple of hoses, just barely. I would have really have orientated things a little bit different. Next case, right, guys? Next case. Maybe if I ever update my desk here, whenever I move down to Oklahoma, That's when I think I'm gonna update all of this whenever I do my big move, guys. So we've got so I mean it's like I'm it's hard to see on here. It looks like it's a through hole. This way you can't hide it, but oh yeah, I didn't look at this photo. This is definitely, it's a through hole. So awesome, awesome, awesome. I take all the shit talking back. These are through holes. But I just kind of saw it like in this orientation. It's like, oh no, don't say it's true. But I do like how it's the look on there with the deep cutout for the fin stack in there. That's pretty slick on it. I like it. We'll have to see what the performance is between them or EK. EK is almost, to me, the gold standard for water blocking. I like how they've got the flow rate going through each of their water blocks, and they're backlit over here where it's just kind of understated with the lighting going through. I think it's a little bit of a slicker look to it. Again, each person's got their own look on there. Yo, what up, mine and Huddle? Aloha! Manaloha! It's the only place I've ever been where you can say aloha at any time of the day. It's like greetings and salutations. But I prefer the EK look, but these are expensive. This little combo is probably going to be $200-300. I'm just guesstimating on it from previous generations of where EK sits at with their stuff. Alpha Cool will probably be a little cheaper, but not far behind. Not far behind at all, guys. I prefer how EK does their flow on here, because like if you see how they do it, they wash it out and then have it come through and then down and out, right? Or I say it comes. I'm sorry, it comes in, goes right through the fin stack, and then big cavities to the left and right that exit out through the single vent hole, where they're doing it the same way, but I'm not sure that I like that they've got it opened up on the edges here. I would have rather seen a bigger opening into the center, force more flow through the fin stack, and then exit out. But that's just how I would look at it. Actually, mine and Huddle, great question. That's actually like one of the better questions. So, all you have to do is be able to find a CNC machinist local to you, and basically it's just like computer aided design of making it. But believe it or not, you do not want to use aluminum. Aluminum is horrible as a means to absorb heat. Aluminum will give off its heat faster than it'll soak it in. The reason why I would use aluminum radiators in racing is because it's lighter. I'm looking to shave off every bit of weight I can off my car, right? So what I do to compensate for it, knowing that the aluminum radiator with the coolant to tube contact and flow rate through a race car's radiator, I'm going to go 3 times as thick of a radiator to get the heat displacement that I'm requiring in order to keep the engine at optimum temperature. Copper is the best thing to possibly use. And when you're seeing a lot of these are, aluminum wiring sucks too. Oh my God. Aluminum wiring is perfect if you want to have a failure point. It's like, good afternoon, Golden Wolf. But yeah, I mean, the what they do with all of these water blocks are copper. Believe it or not, they are copper underneath. And then I think they do a nickel plating on them. And nickel is not too bad, but it gives the copper the protection it needs so it doesn't oxidize. So you want to use copper, but you need to protect the copper at the same time. So there's that little itty bitty trade-off. I've used full copper blocks. I love them. Let me tell you, I love my copper blocks. Best performance for an FPGA out there is a copper block. Well, mine and HODL, if you think about it, a copper plate soldered with tubes would be easier. That's an air cooler. You just stated how an air cooler is made. All they do with an air cooler is they make little tubes, and it's got a little droplet of water in there. And that droplet of water is enough to pull a massive amount of heat out. It goes to the end of the tube, cools down, condensates, water goes back to the CPU or the VGA core, boils back off, and the process just keeps rotating out. They're using natural convection with inside of little tubulars. So with water block, when you're doing water blocking, you don't necessarily want to do tubes at the core. You need full die coverage, full silicon coverage, full memory coverage on it. And you want to go through the core first and have just like a fire hose of pressure to go through to wick out the heat faster than it can generate. There's a point of like no gain on it, so you can actually like just have it turned up to such a point where you're not gaining any extra cooling capacity off of it. You would do better with a thicker radiator or better fans for your radiator. So it kind of depends on how you're setting up your computer, what kind of workloads. I've got two radiators on my computer right now, a 360 and then a 240, right? So, and that's plenty enough to cool my Threadripper and a 3080 Ti, both mining. So, yeah, I don't mind. The old Zolman cooler were amazing. I'm actually not familiar with that one. Let's see here. That's the one that I think it is. Are you talking about their thick bad boy or the ring? Because they've got ones that kind of look like the Noctua coolers, and then they've got the hockey puck style. I think you're talking about the hockey puck style. If my memory serves me, you're talking about the ones that just like blew right down, and I think it had like a big center copper core on it or something like that. Man, you're gonna have me click on a random link. I don't like random links. Oh my God. Yes, I do remember those. Okay. I haven't seen one of those in ages. Oh my God. Those were actually kind of cool. Well, let me drink. No. I'd show you, but it's got personal information on that. But yeah, I remember those old copper coolers. Oh yeah, all copper. Yes, I remember those. Those were old school. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. So it looks like if you guys are looking for a new power supply, I like EVGA. You guys know that I'm an EVGA fan. I've got a ton of their power supplies at the facility right now. They are reliable power supplies, I have yet to have an issue. And let me tell you, I have beat my EVGA power supplies up. Always get gold series or better. All of mine are the platinum series, so I can smack them like a redheaded stepchild. Ooh. So I was putting 3 1080 Ti's on 1,000 watt, and it was handling it. So you guys know I try to stress test some of my equipment so that you guys know where some of the failure points are, and that's why I've always ranted and raved about getting the EVGA Platinum series. That is the It's like, John Germain, you are absolutely right. Copper and enveloped with water as a working fluid is common for electronics cooling. Copper or steel envelopes with refrigerant are 134A for that. Well, R134A, that's for cars. And then I forget what it is for refrigerant. I think that's like R22 or something like that. I do have my state certification, my 609A for coolant recovery. I'm also HVAC certified for automotive. Not household, but they're both the same thing. It's just where they put all the same components. I see no differences. Whenever I've helped out a few people doing repairs on it, I'm like, oh, this is just like a supersized version of what I've been playing with. Oh, so we just need this, test over here, test this. It's like, oh, okay, now I know what the system I'm looking at. It's actually, they're the same systems, but just different refrigerants in there. Aluminum enveloped with ammonia as the working fluid is common for spacecraft. Yes. Thermal control. Super alloys like alky metals, calcium, potassium, sodium for high temperature heat pipes. Yes. My man, always dropping all those big knowledge stuff out there. Some of that stuff I actually remember that stuff. It's like, it's funny how recovered refrigerant leaks out of bottles on the way to the recovery shop. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it depends on how if they filled it up properly. So, funny thing is, like, if they're gonna fill up a tank, they're supposed to weigh the tank empty, and then weigh it and they've got to do a calculation for the temperature at the time of filling, and make sure that the pressure is the correct pressure in there at the time of filling. Because if you've got the right pressure inside the vessel, no matter what the temperature is, you will never exceed the temperature levels on there up until, and here's the caveat, is when it goes into a shipping container, it gets a lot hotter than where the factory for the bottles recommend them to be operated at. So they end up going about 15 to 20% higher than they're recommended for the valving, and that's where you start getting leak off. Like, hello from Stone Zone. Surgery went okay. Good, my man. I'm so glad the surgery went good, man. And enjoy feeling good, and hopefully it doesn't hurt too bad tomorrow. It's usually the day after surgery, you're like, I got beat up by Evander Holyfield. At least that's how I felt whenever I had my appendix taken out. Oh my God. It felt like Evander Holyfield was just working my abs for like 12 hours. I'm like, coughing. I couldn't even sit up without it just being an excruciating pain. Oh my God. I feel you, my man. But great to know that your surgery went great. Hopefully you have a quick and speedy recovery. Recoveries on certain surgeries suck. I know this. Even with my appendix coming out, it was probably another week and a half before I was walking after that, because you blow out, they open up your stomach and you don't realize how much you use your stomach for everything. Oh yeah, stitches burn too. Whoo yeah. Oh man, they did my surgery laparoscopically, so they basically made 4 little holes in my stomach and took my appendix out that way. And each one of the zones where they had this, they didn't even stitch me. They put skin tape down and just taped me closed. And man, the next day I was just like going, I want to itch them so bad. Oh, I bet, dude. Oh my God, yes. After a yeah, you get the little snip on the boys. Yeah, you don't even realize that how much a small cough hurts down there. Trying to you don't even want to push a fart out. Oh God, we're going off the rails here today, guys. We are. It is. You can tell it is a FA Friday, guys. We are off the rails now. What up, Raven Sky? My man, what's up, brother? And from what I understand, my condolences to you, buddy. My condolences. I was actually meaning to DM you and say something, but since you're right here, my condolences. John, at my age, you never. You should get that T-shirt. It's like the 10 things the 10 commandments of getting old. It's like no problem, Raven. No problem. It's like it's like the number one thing: never pass up a bathroom. Don't trust a fart. It's like it's got like 10 things you never do as like an old person. Oh my, in Sulu voice. Oh my. Oh yeah. So, but back on track here, guys. Seasonic is launching with their ATX 3.0 with the PCI 5.0 standard, guys. Yo. I'm be curious if they're going to have the new pinout, the new cable that can only be plugged in 30 times in and out. It's like, imagine being able, only getting the pumping in and out 30 times. How quick would you be? But, I mean, to be all fairness on the new plug standard, most people are only going to plug that plug in one time anyway. Even if you have to unplug the card to clean it, right? You only need to unplug the VGA cable at the other end. You don't need to mess with the adapter that they're putting, that 16-pin standard adapter. But it looks like they've got a little bit of a price out here. So for you guys that, for us in the United States, for a 1200 watt, which is going to be what I'm going to recommend if you're going to get a 4090, guys, do not get anything below a 1200 watt for a single 4090. Yes, the card is, these 4090s are rated for like 450, 500 watts, right? I get it. But the problem that we're going to have, guys, with the new standard, and this is not me dogging on anything. It's just that with the 30 series, I was already noticing that it was they had a lot of little mini spikes, and it was giving me rig instability issues for it. So I've been playing around with trying to get all my 30 series like nice and stable. I can't do that without having a lot of power for them. So the 30 series, because of the requirements for power on there that they kept on, they spike, bam. So you might be commanding it for 240 watts, but this thing is spiking out, and if it says its TDP is 366 watts, well, guess what? It's going to smack to. 366 watts every single time. Whackada, you know? And every time it does that, it's going to put a power ripple right through the power supply. So you're going to have beefier chokes inside the power supply, beefier capacitors in there that can handle ripple, much better diodes in there to stop feedback noise from a power ripple. So I mean, there's just a lot of things that they're going to have to put into these new power supplies, so that under normal usage, especially if you're doing a heavy game, doing heavy workloads off the GPU itself, that it's not going to crash the computer because it decided to do a mini spike. And we're not talking a spike for a very long. You're talking, milliseconds. But if the power supply is incapable of handling a 1200 watt slap, a 1000 watt slap, because that's what these cards are gonna do. There's already they already know that there are times, and it's just a brief moment, and it hits the rev limiter, right? And you need to make sure that you have a power supply that can handle it hitting its rev limiter, and it's only doing this for moments. So so it's going to have the high grade 12 volt high power connectors, should be resolved. So I mean, with the integrity and everything like that. So they're going to try to do everything they can to make it better. Seasonic is a decent company, from what everybody that I know that uses them. I haven't had a chance to check them out yet, but from some of the industry leaders that I pay attention to, they're already using it. They're like, these guys are just as good as EVGA, if not better in certain areas, because Seasonic is trying to cater towards the competitive overclocking. So they want to make sure that these power supplies can not only are outputting what it says, but it can deal with us competitive overclockers. And then again, always go after the platinums. I mean, granted, I understand, gold standard is still decent. I would say for the extra protection, if you're grabbing one of these newer cards, extra protection, get the platinum. That would be my recommendation. I'm not telling you guys what to do. And not that you're going to have to grab a 1200 watts. So if you do the lower end series, you can go ahead and get an 850 watt versions. But I would definitely try to get into the platinum series. You're not talking about a huge price difference on there, in my opinion, right? So gold series is $169.99. Platinum is $189.99. It's $20 to have a peace of mind that you're getting the better product. Not that you have to buy the best and the greatest thing, but power is the most that is the heartbeat of your computer. So you want to make sure you get the best ticker in there. And that's why I even with my own stuff, I've got a Roswell 1200 watt. It's their high end. At the time of me purchasing that, they didn't have a platinum series, but this was their highest end one, because usually when you get into 1200 watts, you're even in the gold series, you're still getting pretty decent stuff. But if you're going to do a 1200 watt power supply, you might as well get platinum series if it's an option, just because the standard is much better. The efficiency of the power supply is much better. There's a lot of stuff, tech. I mean, you don't think much about the power supply, but there's a lot of tech that goes into there to ensure that everything downstream, which would be your motherboard, CPU, and GPU, and your hard drives, never see massive power ripple, because that's the killer of components. We're talking it's exchanging for us in the United States, it's changing AC to DC and outputting DC. If you're in Europe or you're in England, it's basically stepping it down to a 12 volt standard and then outputting that. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that goes on with the power supply, and it's always worth not cheaping out. I say the same stuff when I deal with people with cars. It's like you get a bearing, like a wheel bearing, and you're like, oh, well, let me get the cheap bearing, because it's $130. I don't want to spend $240 for the better bearing. And all the counter guy is going to say, oh, it's just got a 3-year warranty on it, nothing better. No. They're giving a 3-year warranty on that better bearing because the internals are better. A lot of times those cheaper bearings, I see them come back into the shop like a year after the warranty goes up. As a mechanic, it's just something I've noticed. So I always try to push people into, you don't need to get the race car parts. But if the race car part is only a few bucks more than the cheaper part, then why not? You don't have to drive it like you stole it. But if you put the better part in there, it'll act more like what the dealership put in. And it's the same thing if you're going to be you're going to try to do competitive gaming. If you're doing a monster mining build, it's always worth just kind of shelling out for a little better. There's certain areas where I don't cheap out. Power supplies is one of them. That is one of my big things. Yes, that's why exactly Golden. I don't really go for the titanium series. I think I have one. Do I? No. All of mine are platinum. I don't push the titanium. Maybe in a generation or two of GPUs, I might start changing the tune on that. But then the titanium variation is going to come down in price. Yeah, you don't have to drive it like you stole it, but more fun if you do. Oh, bum. And we're starting to see some 40 series designs coming out. I love Galax. Just not that I'm going to grab one of their GPUs or anything like that. They're having too much fun when they design GPUs. I just saying, man. I'm just saying. Because these GPUs were designed so that guys would buy them. And they are not putting these cards in display mode. They do not want to look at these fans. I'll tell you what. and these are Boomstar. Giggity. Use two full wave bridge rectifiers connected to a Y transformer, and the other connected to a delta transformer windings for low ripple. Yeah, that's good redundancy in there too. I'll allow it. So we're starting to see some of the reason why I like Galax is they allow people to have a little fun with their build. Guys that are in the anime, girls that are in the anime, they're going to be highly interested into a card like this. They're going to put this thing into a position to where they can see the back of this card. They're going to put their whole computer on display mode because this is just like a feel-good card. Galax is not always known to be the best performer for their lower end cards, and that's basically what these are. Now, it's not the Hall of Fame, guys. So the Hall of Fame edition, that's when they go all out. But don't think that these things perform badly in any way, shape, or form. It's just that this is not their heavy hitter. So these things are pretty cool. I like them just for the fact of what they can do with the artwork. I love their artwork. Always have. I wish more companies would theme out their graphics cards so people can, or give people the option to be able to grab themes, different plates or something like that. I'm sure there's probably a market. I mean, if Galax has a market for this, I'm sure there's a big market for people, even if you were to get like a sticker package for some of these GPUs. I think sometimes that's, personalization is everything in my book, until you want to sell it. But that's why I always say like stickers or something like that, because you can easily take that off. And it's not hard to clean the residue off either. So we could see Galax line up on here with their chipsets. So I'll tell you this right now. None of these are full die sets. These are all cut down dies. If it was the AD 100, the 100 would be the full die. Since this is a 102, this is a little smaller than a full die. And then you have the die getting cut down even further with the the nomenclature on the last digit here being a 3 and a 4. These are the smaller cut down dies sizes. So that's where you are getting different performance levels. And this is also where the controversy comes in, okay? If these two cards here were truly a 4080 class, then the 80-103 and an 80, it should be the same 80-103 for the 12 gigabyte. But no, they've got the 80-104, which usually that would be the nomenclature designation for the 4070. So they are basically relabeling a 4070 class GPU as a 480 so that they can command more money, because nobody in their right mind would want to pay $900 for a 4070, because a 4070 conceivably is a $500 to $700 card. With them classifying it as a low tier 4080, I think this is a little misleading, because we have, as you can see here, we have less core count between the two. We have 9,728 CUDA cores versus 9,680 CUDA cores on this one. I mean, you can see that they are different chipsets. And typically when you see a lower chipset, you'll tend to see them, the frequency on them go up a little higher. This being a little higher than this, do not get these two confused. They are not the same card, even though they're labeling it as such. I think this is pretty misleading to the public, but that's just my viewpoint. But after the die set's different, we have a 256-bit bus for 16 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory, and then we have a 192-bit bus for 12 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory. So these are in no way, shape, or form the same card. And again, the 4080 12 gigabyte should be the 4070. A lot of people are bitching about this because of how they fall into the Substack on this for performance-wise. A lot of people have been pointing this out as of least recently, which I find it awesome that there's more people calling out the bullshit that NVIDIA is doing. This is, and it makes me wonder if this is some of the things reasons why EVGA left the partner program too, was that they were starting to see the money grab, and they were like, it's not about the money. We have a reputation, and NVIDIA wants to drag their name through the mud of being a money-grabbing Apple product. Then they can do that on their own. I wonder how many more partners they're about to lose here. We'll have to see. And for anybody who can't afford a video card, right? For basically $60, you can build your own home computer. Yo, you can literally build it, guys. You thought I was talking about like an actual rig? No, man. For like $60, man, you can build it. And look, you get a triple fan, big card, you know. I think this is kind of cute. I really do. This is cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not. I'm really not going to lie. This is cute. I don't care what anybody says. I like this. This is hilarious. And little dude's got a little command center in here and everything. I grew up in the generation of Legos, so this hits me in my little. The little kid in me kind of went, "Oh my god, I gotta have it." Hell yeah, it is. It's like, I love this. This thing is amazing. Gives you a command center. You get a worker. You get a little scientist, dude. I love this. a little board, you get RAM and everything. I mean, it's like perfect, bro. Hey, man, this is a mining bear market. We got to have some fun with this. I'm thinking about grabbing this, guys. What do you guys think? FA in the chat if I should buy this and build this. FA in the chat if you want me to buy this and build this. I'll do it. I kind of going to do it anyway. I'm not going to lie. Does it play Crisis? I guarantee you, the moment you plug it in, you'll get the black screen. But this is all built based on colorful product, including the RTX 4090 OC GPU. So it, of course, has no LGA 1700 socket, and the lack of information on the DDR4 memory's speed is concerning. However, the set comes with 2 engineers working day in and day night to ensure its best performance. I love this. Video cards guy writing this up was having fun with this one. The brick set is a collab effort with Pingwei Building Blocks, who came up with this cool set featuring 1,123 pieces. This takes DIY PC to another level. Now is also required to build its components themselves, not just to put them together. I love this. This is awesome. So I've got to try to find this. I'm gonna hop on the colorful. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find this. I really want to sit there and find this. This looks so cool. I just got to have it. So I will try to find this for you guys, just so that I can build it. I don't. It's probably like it looks like it's about a foot, 1 foot by 1 foot. I bet. Because like, send me the link when you do find it. Yo. And then, as I was also stating before, I already knew this was going to happen. Arc A7 was going to be delayed. They made some small hints that they were wanting to make sure that the best product comes out. I'm not unhappy to see them delay this. Just hopefully it's not delayed infinitely. But I'm hoping that, they delay it just long enough to get all the little stupid quirks all the bugs ran out of this thing, and then they can put out this limited edition Arc GPU. I would like to grab one of these limited editions. You guys already know I got an Arc A380, great 1080p GPU. It works. I mean, it's like I'm not trying to find breakneck speed with it, but it does work. Yes, I believe the Arc Limited Edition will be a blower. I believe that they do have a triple fan variation, and it almost has that blow through technology from the renders that I did see from it, but they were more rumors than anything concrete, so it's why I don't really bring it up too much. But these look like I believe that they have the blower variation as their limited edition, which the A380 wasn't a very big power hog, so it's not like it produced a whole lot of heat. Even while it was mining, it didn't produce a whole lot of heat. I just wish it would mine more things. I wish I could plug it in and have it hash away, but I don't see any support with Hive quite yet, and I don't think Simple Miner has it yet, and I believe Nice Hash was working on it from my one source. What my one source was telling me. So Yep, this will be. So it looks like we were supposed to have seen this, seen the A380s. That were damn near hard to find. We were basically ordering them on eBay from China directly. They never really left China. So that people called this a paper launch, and that's why people are saying, "Oh, you're never gonna release these," yada yada yada. FUD, FUD, FUD. But the summer is officially over, and the ARC limited edition still isn't here. They were already supposed to have dropped today, actually. So unfortunately, it did not drop. I know of a few people that were able to get their hands on them through special sources that they will not divulge to me. Which I get it. It's probably really they worked out some high-end deals with being able to get their hands on some of the stuff, because they were still test samples, so they weren't supposed to get their hands on it. So I totally get it if I can't get my hands on it either. So but I definitely would love to check out one of these. Hopefully the price isn't too bad on it, especially with the mining boom being over. They shouldn't be commanding that big of pricing on their GPUs. I know that they got to be able to recoup some of their losses, but I expect to see Intel getting back into the GPU market, that they are going to take a hit on profitability until they start making a foundation of a good product, plus getting a customer base for it. So until then, I expect a few years of them having growing pains into this market. Hopefully it does not deter them. Looks like the CEO had also put out some FUD fires going, we have enough money in reserves here to do this, and we have no reason not to. They manufacture everything in-house, so it would make sense to expand into this. They've been a powerhouse in the commercial range with their CPUs. They've dominated home PCs for the longest time. Even though there was people like myself that were, I'm using AMD, I'm gonna go for the underdog and bulldoze my way through things. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, the Bulldozer series, guys, you don't know heat. But it's like I've done a lot with dealing with AMD, but to see ARC coming out, I could deal with them being a little late on this. I always tell people it's better to be late with a great product than be on time with something that you're going to piss off your clientele base. It takes 2 seconds to lose a customer. It takes a lifetime to earn one. So instead of burning your customer bases with shitty product, it's better to piss them off a little bit and make them wait for the product that they were expecting to get. So I give them kudos. If it's a good gaming card and a blower, I want 2 for the small gaming rigs we have. Yeah, I believe that they were blowers. I believe. I'd have to go back. Actually, who was it that I know that had one for sure? Gamers Nexus. I would have to. He did a video he had the A380 and the ARC limited edition 770. So if you wanted to, you can go look that up, or I can look that up and I can answer you later on tonight. Whatever. All right. And getting into the next thing here. As we see here, guys, mining pool stats. This is pretty much the same information everyone else is looking at. So if you think something is profitable over here, it's only going to last like that for like 0.2 of a second. But what I like here that I've been seeing a lot of things like Ethereum Classic. Hash rate is still coming down on it a little bit. You know, it looks like Ethereum Classic might be leveling out right around 180 terahash, which puts them almost 9x from where they were before the merge happened. Let's see here. Going back, stuff that people are going to mine at home. Check out Ravencoin. Ravencoin looks like it has leveled off right around about 19 to 20 terahash now. After coming off of 22 terahash, it's only peeled back a little bit. Looks like they've got a lot of mining support that came back to Raven. I'm wondering how much of this is actually FPGAs at this point, because there was FPGAs that was on that Ethereum, right? There was FPGA farms that got built with the Intel FPGAs that were supposed to have the HBM2 memory on there. I wonder how many of those got repurposed to come back up on the Raven, because before Raven switched over, they knew that FPGAs were already on the network and just hammering the network. I mean, it took 2 FPGAs for 1 miner, so you got a lot of hardware capital, but you incentivize somebody enough and they'll just put it over there because it's making them money. They already bought the hardware. So I wonder if they do a variation in their in the mining consensus, how much of the hash rate would truly leave off of Ravencoin to make Ravencoin more profitable again by kicking off bulk hardware. Cadena, we know, is ASIC run now, so you don't even have to look at that. That shouldn't have been affected by the merge in any way, shape, or form. Then we can come down to that Flux that everybody wants to support. It looks like Flux came up and just kind of leveled off. Everyone stayed. Everybody get off of my fucking Flux, guys. Stop mining it. I'm waiting. No, I'm just kidding. So that got destroyed. That Flux mining, the difficulty on there shot way up. So if you're a small little farm, you're probably worse off now than you were before while you were mining Ethereum. At least with Ethereum, you had a shot. Ergo. So there's been some updates with Ergo, with talking to a few people. And there's really nothing that they can do too much with the... other than changing the interval of when the epoch is. But what they really need is the fact that all that hash rate came on the Ergo and then left real fast. So until it hits the next epoch, the difficulty will not readjust. So I've been being completely nice to... Mikhail, you have messaged me. Oh! Damn! Mikhail's showing me his mother-in-law got into an accident. Somebody hit her. Damn! Caved in the whole back of the thing. Damn! So hard that the right side rear passenger door had to be taped shut. Wow. That whole back got pushed forward, that's for sure. Wow. Insane. Yo, what up, Crypto Craig? Sorry, guys. When Mikhail messages me, I'm gonna take a look. Sorry, guys. So I've been putting one GPU back on this, my 3080 Ti. At night, I put it back on there. I'm not going to make a damn bit of money, but I'll try to help out the network. I mean, that's basically what us miners are supposed to be there for, is we're supposed to help the network out. We're not. This was a bunch of fiat miners came blasting onto the network and then peeled out of there when the difficulty shot up. I see an issue with Ergo going. If they don't change the epoch time on this for the block time, the system's going to get gamified bad. Nice, Crypto Crag. Yeah, whenever I saw them trying to take a look and seeing what the problem was, because if this keeps happening, you know, if they have their epoch as far as it is right now, it's almost like the epoch is about as long as a Bitcoin. Whenever the Bitcoin changes its difficulty, right? If it gets gamified, you're going to see it get snapped back up, and it's going to be another month before the difficulty comes back down. So they have to do something about it. But I can't put my whole farm on it. I'm not as cool as Son of a Tech, where I can put all my whole farm on there and just eat the bill just to help them out. I can't do that. But I can afford putting one GPU on there. So I'll at least do that. It's not much, but it's all the little hashies that count, right? Yeah, I know. They did put an EIP. That's what I was saying. Like, I seen that they did put an EIP out finally. Finally. I just didn't like the original approach of how the devs kind of it kind of went, you know, a little twist of the knife going, bro, don't even be like this. This isn't an issue that you need to solve. We're supporting your network, and when your network works against us, it's hard to support you if we're not being monetarily incentivized to keep our hash rate there. You have to pay for security. Now, if the payment for security is too high, either you need more efficient hardware or something has to change. I just think they just need to shorten their epoch time down. Something that would, you know, even if it's shot way up, maybe their epoch changes every 2 days. No matter what happens, every 2 days it changes the epoch. I don't know how they can code something like that in. I'm not a dev. I know nothing about anything like that. John, he's like, I'm throwing 1.25 gigahash at Ergo to help keep it from failing. Nice. You are awesome. I can't do it just because I got the facility going. If it was all at my house, I could probably get away with doing it. But because I've got it at the facility, I've got too much overhead now. I'm just not in a position where I can do charity work right now. A little bit later on, sure. So if you guys I'm not sitting here telling you guys to put your hash rate onto it, but if you got one GPU to spare, maybe think about putting it over there. Like, I know some people that were doing Siacoin back in the day. I stay away from that. I know some of you guys do Chia. I don't do Chia. No. Conflux. That one. Let's see how bad did they get hit. So about 2 terahash, and then yeah, they took a hit, but not horrible. Yo, no way, Panda. Yo, Panda's in his house. Yo. I guess now that Red's here, let's start the party, guys. He kicked the party off the right way, guys. Yo, if you ain't seen this shit, come check this out, guys. Come check this out. You want to see this. Everybody back to your screens. Stop what you're doing. This is some bullshit. I heard rumors about it. I didn't actually think it was true. So this isn't for the people who are mining from there. This has nothing to do with the mining side of it. Mikkel mines with Poolin and has not had any issues with his straight mining side. These were people who were straight up. I'm sorry, Red. This is for the gambling side of it, because people are going to want to sit there and maximize their benefits, right? Their payouts. Everybody wants to make a little bit more. That's the greedy miner in us, right, guys? Where we want to make a little bit more, just a little bit more, and that's that like little like a little hit of hopium. You're like, oh, I'm gonna make some more money. Oh yeah, to the moon, right? But so basically, if you put it into their wallet, to get the extra little bit, what is it? Like they would basically give you a percentage for keeping your stuff in there and giving them liquidity. And that liquidity dried up with the fucking market. Smash that Lizzie like button, guys. You know it, man. You know it. And subscribe if you're new here. And if you could do me a favor and just share this out on your favorite social media, get the word out there so all of you awesome hashers are here and soaking in all this good knowledge here. Yo. So basically, Poolin said that it will be issuing an IOU ERC20 token for users unable to withdraw their Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Litecoin, Zcash, Dogecoin. On September 15th, the mining pool will issue IOU Bitcoin, IOU ETH, IOU USDT, IOU LTC, and IOU ZEC, and IOU Doge, a respective 1-to-1 ratio based on users' holdings. Following of the suspension of withdrawals due to a reported liquidity problem. This is the same issue that Celsius had, guys. This is what happens when you go and you overextend yourself in the shitcoin casino market. There is no dividends from Bitcoin. You do not earn APY from Bitcoin. None of this stuff exists. Bitcoin is just like gold. It just sits there. In order to earn anything with your Bitcoin, you have to basically give up your private keys and give it to them. And hope to God that they don't Celsius the shit out of you. Celsius was the canary in the coal mine, guys. The moment you saw Celsius having issues, every last one of them are doing the same thing. And they're not sitting here telling you how they're sitting there trading your shitcoin, right? It's not like they're sitting there and buying Bitcoin miners and going, well, now we're mining, right? And now that we're mining, we're going to give everybody that has contributed to us buying our miners, we're going to now generate revenue for them. That's the only way you're generating revenue back for your pool, to your stakers like that, because that's basically what it is. You just staked your Bitcoin, staked your Ethereum, for somewhat of a APY, right? The only way that I see that feasible is that they took your funds, spent it, and had physical miners in place. Outside of that, bro, this was something that everybody should have seen coming in. Now, I'm not going to sit there and be like, if you got caught up into it and didn't realize that they were having the same issue as Celsius. From us on the consumer side of it, we don't get all the information and we do not get all of the bigger macros behind the scenes like some of the bigger investors that would have been doing this with Poolin. They knew what was about to happen. I think that Poolin will be able to pay this back because Poolin, just like every other pool, is charging anybody who mines on their pool 1%, as every other mining pool does. So don't think that you can go to another pool and get around this unless you want to get up on the Hives pool and you're going to mine with Hives software to Hives pool, and then you can get the 0% fee off the pool. But know that if you're mining to Hive on pool, that your latency is going to fuck you, and you're going to submit stale shares because of it. So you're giving up at least 0.5% because of stale shares going to Hive on pool. I have had nothing but issues with averaging about 1% stale shares between 16 rigs. Okay, that's unacceptable. And that is a connection issue with how they have it coming over here to the United States, unfortunately. It's just not set up right for us in the United States. I'm not sure if it's that way in Canada or Mexico also, or if it's just isolated that it's the United States only. So I don't know. I don't do a lot of back end coding, so that's beyond my pay grade at that point, right? But I do feel bad for anybody that has gone into these areas and just to find out that you just got your funds locked up. Now, like I said, I think Poolin will, because of the fees that they already structure in, if Poolin does their job right, they're just not going to make any money for a little while. And they're just going to have to suck it up. Otherwise, we're going to find out how shady Poolin really is. And instead of mining their way out of this, like a good pool should, and they will mine it without making a single dime to make up for the losses for them gambling your money away. But you also had to realize that you have to assume some kind of risk on your end too. That you had to know, somewhere in the back of your brain had to have known, or at least somewhere in the back of your brain said, I got a red flag. Where is the money coming from? Somewhere a red flag got raised, and either you didn't hear the voice yelling, because it was a little itty bitty, little tiny little voice in the back of your head, or you put duct tape over dude's mouth, right? But somewhere down the line, somewhere had to have triggered, man, I'm going to get all these gains. But how? It's a lot of the reasons why I don't play with it. It's like, it's like they say, not your keys, not your cheese. So if you don't have control of your crypto, it's not yours. If you leave Bitcoin on Coinbase, it's not yours. And Coinbase has stated this specifically. This is not something that I'm making up, guys. Do not leave your coins anywhere. This is not the time to be leaving any amounts of Bitcoin anywhere outside of your own personally controlled wallet. I don't care if you got a Ledger, a Trezor, or you're using a Core wallet, you're using a Flux wallet. I do not care. But make sure it's in a wallet you specifically control the private keys to. That's how you have to make sure you're going to keep your crypto safe during a bear market. I remember during 2018 watching all the people losing their asses off on centralized exchanges. It happens every single downturn. Somewhere down the line, as soon as we hit a massive downturn, somebody's system of how they're operating locks up. So that's just the biggest reason why I don't gamble, is that I've seen too much of this in the time of me being in Bitcoin. And this is just another time of me seeing it. I've seen probably like 10 or 20 of these come and go, where they lock your accounts up and then they're gone. They declare bankruptcy and you become debt. They don't have to pay you. You're just debt. And they can write that debt off pennies to the dollar. You don't mean shit at the end of the day. So you are in the same boat as a stock shareholder. When a company declares bankruptcy, you're just a debtor. And it don't mean, and if there's not enough money for you after whenever they get around to paying payouts to you, you just lost out. I just hope that Poulin stands to do the right thing. NiceHash did it. Yes, I still dog on NiceHack. I'll still give them some shade. But because they did do everything in their power to try to pay people back, I give them credit. We'll have to see how Poulin does this. Doing an IOU doesn't mean shit to me. I would rather just see them get to the point where they can unlock a person's account. And that's how it should be. They should be just like going, hey, we're almost there. We can like unlock. We're going to start doing an unlock phase, and unlock. And I know it's very untraditional, but unlock the smaller people's funds first. The people who have the smallest amount, they're the ones that are the biggest effect, because those are people who have less money that they could potentially lose. So make sure that your bigger guys are the last ones. If Poulin is listening at all, I know they're not. I'm not cool enough. But if Poulin was good enough, I would say if they were listening to me, I would be telling them to pay the little guys first. The bigger guys assumed the risk. They knew what they were getting into before this. The smaller guys are usually the least informed. Some of them are highly informed and they understood the risks, but not everyone. So I would say the people who have the poorest people in your system are number one to get out, because it's easier to liquidate out, somebody who has 10% of a Bitcoin, one Ethereum, and then make your bigger people wait. But we know how that goes. It never goes that way. The little guy always gets fucked out of the deal, Like, I was expanding soon, thinking about in 2 years, gonna be crazy. Yeah, not financial advice. Not financial advice always. Laughing my ass off. Yeah. It's like, I won't take the advice, but I will. LOL. All right, guys. So that was pretty much the rant of the day. Was Poulin. I knew that there was a few people out there that have dealt with it. I want to bring it out into the open a little bit here. Might give my 2 Satoshis on the topic here. This is just another reason why I don't use services like this. If you guys use the service, the moment you put your Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever into those services, pretend you just lost the money. Period. This way, if you pull out the money, you're way above your expectations. You can't lose if you're above your expectations. But if you lose it and it's gone, at least you were already psychologically prepared that it was gone. Poulin will not come back after this. I'm thinking that too, Panda, just because of how they're responding on this. That much I will agree with you on 100%. Why would they issue an IOU ERC20 token? Why? Because with the IOU ERC20 token, they can now erase your account. So if they can erase your account, now there's no creditors to come after. You now accepted an IOU. Accepting an IOU is just like sitting there and saying that I loaned the money to them and they're not paying back. You're accepting the loss by taking the IOU. That's my opinion. Hey, Chump Change, what's up? Hells yeah, man, all the cool people are showing up now. Yo, right as I'm like about ready to get up out of here, all the cool people are showing up for school. Yeah, I think it's a bad sign that the IOUs are being issued out, because if you accept the IOU, you're accepting the loss, in my opinion. So that's where I 100% agree with you, Panda, that Poulin is probably done. They basically just fucked everybody over because they were gambling just with Celsius. They're probably playing in the same fucking shitcoin casino that Celsius was in. And they were hiding it because they had more miners behind them paying 1% versus Celsius. Celsius didn't have shit to add value outside of their own personal mining facility, which ironically, the courts granted them permission to continue mining and to try to pay debts off. Ain't that some shit? Can you throw out a Hadouken? Hadouken, right? Or yeah, Hadouken. There you go. That worked for you? Oh, too funny. All right. Anybody got any other comments or questions before I slide up out of here, guys? And while you guys are thinking of some comments or questions to pop out there, guys, definitely, if you haven't done so already, smash that Lizardy like button, especially if you made it this far. Why not? Subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you haven't done so already, join the community. It's free. The link's down below in the Discord. If you've been here and you're an OG to the channel, maybe might think about getting part of the Patreon. Go help me out over there. All of this stuff helps me bring better content to you guys. Allows me to grab the testing equipment so that you guys become better informed. It's like otherwise it takes me a little bit longer to basically afford all the goodies. And if you'd like to and you want to do some mining with us, definitely think about joining the VIP tier. Become a pseudo hasher with Kundabits and get the perks that are in there while they last. Because me and Mikkel are so close to opening up. I think maybe next week we can actually start setting some stuff up. Yo! Next week. I gotta get an airplane ticket, guys. Yo. He's like, got it. So yeah, I gotta like at some point in time I gotta get a flight down there. I wanna walk through my facility. I wanna do videos in my facility, and I wanna see all my little hashes going off in the facility. I wanna smell the hash rate. Anybody got any comments or questions? If not, I'm gonna head up out of here, guys. If you into gaming at all, check out Crypto and Hot Rods Gaming. That is my alternative channel where I push a lot of my gaming content. Or if you're on Twitch, it's just Crypto and Hot Rods over there. So definitely, guys, give it a check out if you like that stuff. Otherwise, definitely drop some FAs in that Shizity chat while I slide up on out of here, guys. Because all you guys are rated F for fucking awesome. Yo! Ooh, Need to see the Mine app to ponder sending you some shizzle to run. Yo, hells yeah. Got all those FHs in the Chizity chat. Yo, that's what's up, guys. That's what's up. And with that being said, oh man, you know who I'd love to have hosting in our Mine? And I would need a flag to go along with it. Would be Red Panda. If I could get a Red Panda flag and some of Red Panda's mining gear to host at the facility, I'd be honored. I know me and Mikkel would be tickled pink to be able to do that, but I don't know if me and Mikkel are cool enough for that. I'm just saying. No FOMO. No FOMO. And with that being said, guys, it's like more than tickled. Hells yeah. You know what I'm saying, Mikkel. You know what I'm saying. And with that being said, guys, definitely smash that like button. Peace out. And of course, it's like Panda needs his miners to heat his house. I know he's a little bit further up north than me. He needs a little bit more heat. Just a little bit. But he's got the whole barn. I'm just saying. But that being said, guys, peace out. And of course, as always, stay savage. Yo!